leave this rake out because I got some raking I want to do over there. So I'll just prop you up right there. You stay there now. Don't run on. We'll back this in there. Hold the joy. Sometimes I back this car with the door up, and it occurred to me the other day that's a really good way to build and make a mess. So I'm trying to get in the habit of looking back there and making sure. That would look good sitting there, even with a rake leaned against it. It just looks so cool. Bless my heart. Bless my heart. Slap me silly. I sure do like that thing. I'm a hillbilly. Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Oh, y'all are hearing me listening to my classical music here. I'm sure you all are going to think you're going to say bad things about me because I'm listening to that. Dang, I've been caught. They're going to know who I really am. Y'all all thought I was listening to Highway to Heck. But no, classical music. You know, garbage in, garbage out. That's all I'll say about that. It goes for a lot of things. Not only what you eat, but what you think, what you read, what you listen to. Oh, the joy. Oh, the joy. Oops, what was that noise? Garage door rope. Yeah, it's okay. So you can see it right there. Garage door rope handle. Right there. Plunk. Watch it. Plunk. Right there. That don't mean we hurting anything. Okay. Going in. Backing in. See, from here, I can put that stuff right up on that shelf, see? Oh. I have to carry it. Oh. Oh, the joy. Oh, the joy. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Now, do I have a flat surface to sit you on? I don't see one. That's too bad. Maybe I could sit you on the front wheel. Do you mind sitting on the, actually, yeah, do you mind sitting on the front of the hot rod? The hot rod Studebaker. That's a pretty good seat. Yeah. Oh, the joy. So I've been thinking about preaching lately, and you're pretty much friends. You're the ones that I'd be preaching to. I don't know if I want to start now or wait till later. I keep thinking that at some point I'll get good and focused, and then I'll be all clear to say whatever it is the Lord wants me to say. Might be as good a time as any. I was listening to a preacher the other day. I actually ran across him. I was actually reading the news. I get up every morning and I read the news. And I was reading the news, and they had an article by a preacher in Atlanta, which caught my interest because we live in Georgia. His name was Andy Stanley. And I thought, well, I'll read this. Because, you know, I just thought I'll read this, see what he's got to say. Well, he said something. Because I read what he said, and then I went to his. He is a pastor of like 8 churches all around Atlanta. He's got 38,000 followers, both online and in his different church buildings. 38,000. Now I'm a big fan of Perry Noble. Perry Noble ain't got 38,000. I'm thinking, man, 38,000. He must be doing something right. Let's go hear what he has to say. And one of the things that I have been annoyed by having to do with preachers is when preachers start talking about politics, because I don't think that preachers should be talking about politics, but that's just me. Well, Andy Stanley launched right into his sermon saying, all you guys, all you preachers, all you preacher friends of mine that's been getting involved in politics, you're going down the wrong road. He said, Jesus didn't tell us to go out and spread the politics, go out and spread the political news. Jesus said to spread the good news. Well, what's the good news? And then he said something radical. He said, we're not in it to win it. In other words, it's not our job to win anything. We're in it. And we use the term winning souls, which just means you get people that agree with you and agree with what Jesus was all about. But he said the way Christians win souls has nothing to do with how people win generally in the world. For example, lately there's been a lot of, we'll just say, political leaders who want to win. And they have gotten a lot of people in religious circles to say, this is my guy. We're going to get behind this guy. We're going to support this guy. This guy's going to win because he supports us, Christians. And Andy Stanley says Christians aren't in it to win it. Christians are in it to lose, but to lose with a purpose. And he took us back to Jesus. Jesus came into Jerusalem on Passover Sunday knowing that they were going to murder him, knowing that they were going to kill him. He delivered himself to his loss. He allowed himself. He was God, and he could have called down thunder and lightning bolts and fire and killed everybody in the neighborhood, and he could have won that battle. But Jesus didn't come down to win a battle. Jesus came down to lose. And by losing, he set an example for the rest of us. We're not supposed to win. We're not supposed to win an election. We're not supposed to win political power. America didn't become a great country because of our winning. America became a great country by following the example of Jesus, which was to put other people first. To not try to win over other people, but be willing to lose, to be lower than. If there's other people out there, if you're higher than them, then you're not being a Christian. If you're lower than them and you elevate someone else, you make someone else higher, you make someone else win. That's what Christianity is all about. Jesus allowed himself to be killed. And I can show you the Bible verses, but just go look up Andy Stanley, preacher in Atlanta, preaching sermon number 1 on Not in It to Win It. And he can show you the verses where the Apostle Paul says things like, I could be this and I could be that, but it's not my job to do that. It's my job to lay down my life for others. Lay down my life as an example so that others can see Jesus in me. And that's what we're in it for, is to lay down our lives. Not to raise up our lives, not to take up arms, but to lay down our lives so that other people can look at us and say, that person has something that's unusual. It's not even a good battle plan, but that's the whole point. We're not in this for the battle. We're not in this to win. As a Christian, I give up. I surrender. I surrender to Jesus. I surrender to God. I say, God, and I did this physically. I was a young boy and I was raised in the church, and I walked down the aisle and got saved and all this. But physically, there was a point in my life where I wanted to be in control. I was in charge. I was out there doing it my way, and my way wasn't working out so well. I wasn't happy with my life. I was very unhappy with my life. And there came a day when I said, oh God, I give up. I messed up my life. My life is a mess. I don't know how to run my life. I give up. I completely give up. I put it all in your hands. And I'll do whatever you tell me to do. Well, God said, about time. Been waiting for you to say that. Good for you. Now that you said that, you come follow me. Do it, come down the road that I want you to walk on. And I didn't do it so that God would bless me, and I didn't do it so that God would make my life better. But God did bless me, and my life did get better. My life didn't get better because I was smart and I did all the right things, or I conquered all the right people, or I won all the battles. My life got better because I surrendered. And I said, I give up. And I admitted that I'm not the boss of my life. And sometimes I get a little cocky and I talk to y'all, and y'all hear me say things, and forgive me for being rude, because I might be a little rude sometimes. But really, the reality is that actually when God wins in my life, then I win, but not the way you would think. I mean, I don't set out to win by that. Really, the way my heart needs to be is that I'm willing to lose so that others can win, so that others can see the effect that God, that Christ, that Jesus, that being with Jesus has on my life. Now, I have a lot of people out there say, well, I don't believe in God, and I'm not asking you to. This isn't about me trying to, save your soul or thump a Bible or anything like that. This is really about so many people fighting so hard, so fervently. I had a friend on Facebook that I upset a while back because I basically told him to stop whining, but I didn't mean, I think he took that, but really, if you get so mad and so worked up and so fired up about what's going on in politics and in the world and in the economy, and you think this country's going down the drain, this country's going down the drain when we don't follow the principles that created this country, which is the principles that Jesus talked about. When we are willing to make ourselves lesser than so that others can become greater. And that's what this country's about. We said to the world, give me your sick, give me your tired, give me your those that are in misfortune, come here and make a start. And that's what America's built on. I'm pretty sure my folks came here escaping whatever was going on in Ireland and Wales and places like that. Back in I used to think they came over because of the potato famine, but literally I found out my people had come over even earlier than that, really before the Revolutionary War. Things I didn't know about my people. But the bottom line is, when we turn loose and put things in God's control, when we quit trying to save America and decide to follow God's plan, whether America gets saved or not, will depend largely on whether we are reflecting Jesus. Now, somebody's going to say, yeah, but you Europeans came over here and killed all the Indians. We sure did, and that was wrong. I don't know what to say about that. But I do know this. In my life, when I surrender and let other people, boy, this is a hard concept to talk about. To express in a way that makes any sense, because it don't make any sense. But the Bible says that. The Bible said we're a peculiar people. And, there's a way that seemeth right, but the end of it is destruction. And the Bible says a lot of things like that. But the bottom line is, God calls on us to love each other. Jesus said, they'll know you're my followers by how you love each other. If there's anything going on in the world that doesn't involve you loving each other or loving your fellow man, then that's not of God. That's of the world. I guess you could boil this all down to say that, being a Christian, following Jesus, it's about loving each other so much that you look out for each other, you care for each other, you give to each other, you support each other, you do things to help brighten the lives of other people, even people you don't know. There's some wonderful opportunities to do that. There's some kids I know in different locations all over the world that I went looking for and found an opportunity to give just a little bit of what God blessed me with, so that they can have a better life. And that kind of is at the heart of what I'm talking about, is being willing to sacrifice for others, sacrifice your own stuff for other people. I'm sure I'm saying this badly. So I'm going to stop talking, because I'll probably revisit this at some point when I get my thoughts together a little better, and I'll probably have some real Bible verses that I can throw out at you, if that helps. I don't know. In the meantime, I got some parts to unload. because someone gave them to me, because someone who knows me and who's seen me out there saw that I needed something, and he said, hey, come down to my house, let me give you this stuff. I don't need it. You take it. I'm willing to make your life better. I'm giving you this stuff. That showed a real Christian spirit. That showed love. And I try to give that back to other people too. I hope I do it well. But if I don't do it well, I hope I learn to do it better and more. I guess that's all I can say for the moment. God didn't give me anything better than that, so that's what we got. That's heavy. Mercy sakes, great balls. I'm not going to put on some gloves. I should have some gloves around here somewhere. Should have. Where are they? I don't know. You gotta go get me some. That was a heavy box right there. So I had to kind of rethink what I was doing. I've got some stuff that I want in here. For example, I might have talked about intake manifolds before. I've got two sets here. One of them has kind of a large heater box thing on the side of it and a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not interested in. The other one is pretty clean. Basically would fit the same car, but without a lot of the extra junk on it. I've also got a pair of center dump manifolds, which were the manifolds that you would have found on like a 57 Chevy or something, which were all the rage when we used to race cars because they have a better flow through a center dump manifold than they do through these newer manifolds. And those were very much sought after back when we used to race, and sometimes they were hard to get. And Charles gave me a pair, so they're worth keeping, and they're worth keeping in a good, safe, dry place. Now I got some stuff that can be put up under the barn and doesn't have to be kept safe or dry. Well, safe maybe, but keep them, but not necessarily keep them warm and dry and in good condition like you would some other things. I looked in that box, that big box I put up there. There was a transmission mount that would have fit the type of transmission that would have originally been in my rat rod. The rat rod frame mount cross member was made for that kind of a mount, which would have gone on one of those early Chevrolets, which is pretty cool. And there was also a distributor in there that wasn't froze up. So it looked like a good distributor. And it was a set of orange Chevrolet valve covers. They weren't embossed with the Chevrolet sign, but still. Torque converter that's new in a box that he gave me, which I don't have a need for, but if I ever did, this car here would use a torque converter like that. And I want to keep it warm and safe and drive, and there's a brand new in the box harmonic balancer, which may wind up going on that. Well, I might use it somewhere. Anyway, those kind of things will stay in here. There are other things that can go maybe even under the barn out back or something like that. We'll see. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention all that. Nice big, see, I've got a long shaft and a short shaft water pump here. It's good to have for Chevrolet. And I've got this bell housing, which I've got another bell housing out back. They're different, but the same, if that makes any sense. They both fit the Chevy motor and the Chevy transmission. I think I'll put this out in that shed back there. See, here's the other This is the other center dump manifold that I was talking about. And what I mean about center dump is the exhaust casters come out right in the center. This particular one also has the generator mount on it. So this would have gone on a Chevy and the generator would have mounted out here, which is, people don't run generators on them before, but you can use that to mount up an alternator. And that also works. So anyway, this is a good piece to have. I can't run center dump manifolds in the Ramble unless I get someone to reconfigure the exhaust system. And I've got a Flowmaster exhaust system which I don't want to reconfigure. At some point in the future I might want to. And if I did, then I would probably go with some headers. But that gets us down a whole other road. I think this will go out in the shed out yonder. So I'll get these things out of the way. I'll go out yonder. I do have a clutch plate that I'll hang on to just in case. But I want to get that. This is. He gave me this. I hadn't even opened it to look at it. But this is a harmonic balancer. Brand new in the box, y'all. We got a brand new torque converter here still in the box, never been opened, but I think because of the weight of it, I think I'll put it in the back shit too. I do have some heavy stuff up there, but not. I could put those water pumps. In fact, I could put the water pumps and the harmonic balancer back there too. I think I'll do that. I don't want to put too much weight up in that shell. Sometimes my indecision is what drives me. I go one way, then I go the other way. That's how I roll, baby. Oh, that one's heavy. I don't really need either one of those, but I might someday. Or I might need some part off of those. So, I'll leave that stuff up there and I'll take this stuff out back to the other shed. That will allow me to get this thing out of here and get the rat rod back in. Oh boy.